Hi everybody. My name is Walter Lorenzetti of G3W company, and in this presentation I'll talk about a specific case of study of utilization of G3W-SUITE. What is the G3W-SUITE? Is a web open source software application dedicated to a publication and management of QGIS projects as WebGIS services. The code is available on GitHub and is released under MPL Mozilla Public Licensing 2. G3W-SUITE is a modular client-side application made up of two components, G3W-admin and G3W-client. G3W-admin is the administration component that uses Python Django and is a strength integration with PyQGIS API. Instead, the G3W client, the cartographic client, and is a WebGIS classic system for consultation maps. Thanks to modular approach, G3W-SUITE is extensible. In fact, are available other modules with specific characteristics. What are the field applications of G3W-SUITE? Thanks to its features, the framework finds use in numerous fields of application. First of all, in the publication of online maps as WebGIS services. Also exposure of OGC services thanks to QGIS-Server. And the third is the creation of a cartographic management software system thanks to its advanced online editing capabilities. And at very entry level as metadata publication system. G3W-SUITE has been adopted by different realities. In this lead, as you can see, public administration. In the slide, in fact, you can find from medium to big Italy public administration, where it's used as interactive WebGIS services. Other realities are a regional environment project agency and a reclamation consortia. In this case, in the example, it's used for cartographic management and exposure of many different type of data, bathing maps, weather warning system, but also as management system, in example, for rivers and water networks. Yes, G3W-SUITE is adopted also from parks, research institutes, and private companies. Also here, the final use is various. Cartographic portal, biodiversity map, landslide catalog management, and national, for example, national updating of portal nautical cartography. The specific case of study, specific use case that I want to talk about in this talk concerns the use of G3W-SUITE by the Environment Department of Regione Lazio. The department has decided to use G3W-SUITE for the recovery and management of data that come from protected areas and other entities, in example, municipality and others. In particular, for collect and create data that you can read in this slide. For example, prevention activity from problematic fauna, wolf tracking, wild boar sighting reports in municipalities of Roma, and etc. From the above list, I want to focus attention on the management of damage compensation practices by wildlife, which occurred within the regional protected areas. The initial need and the goal was to allow the protected areas manager to register and manage in a cartographic way the claims for compensation within the competence area, and at the same time allow an overview and overall analysis by the department. And all of this in a simple and intuitive way without also even for non-expert GIS people. Now let's see in practice how the employees of department, thanks to G3W-SUITE in total autonomy, have been able to create a cartographic management system and make it available to the managers of the protected area. The first step was to prepare a QGIS project with all aspects necessary for the end user. General map aspects, configuration, editing forms, print reports, interactive plots. Once the QGIS project was uploaded to G3W-SUITE, it generated a WebGIS services, which, as shown in this image, made it possible to consult map data. Thanks to G3W-SUITE's ability to replicate the data consultation from created within the QGIS project, the information view is clear and structured. The next step was to create within the suite a series of search forms of various levels, from searches on a single layer to parallel searches on different layers and on layers with a relation 1 to n. This has made available to the end user of a series of search widgets on the WebGIS services, useful for the rapid recovery and of the data to be processed. To allow the managers of the protected areas to be able to enter the data relating to the cases, some specific layers has been put in editing mode inside G3W-SUITE. For each layer, the following has been defined. The minimum scale value for activating editing on the WebGIS client to reduce the amount of vector data to handle. The user and the user groups authorized to perform the editing operation, and activation of editing log to have an history of what was done and by whom. Thanks to the property of the suite to be able to define editing permission in an atomical way, for each user and or groups of user has been specified, defined who called only insert a new file, who called only modify them, etc. The intrinsic property of G3W-SUITE to lock the futures in editing mode make possible the simultaneous modification activity by several users at the same time, without conflicts or data loss. Furthermore, the possibility of defining constraints by geographical area, filtered through specific expression on specific layers, makes the system even more effective. In fact, in this way, the manager of various protected areas will be able to insert and or modify only the data relating to their area of competence. So, in the end, after all settings previously illustrated, the final result is a real cartographic management system, which fully reflects the input forms that were initially defined within the QGIS project, and which, thanks to the adding property of G3W-SUITE, make the system easy to use even an end user who does never have a GIS background. A system and workflow like this one just illustrated hollow. Having a database update in real time. In this way, it is possible to have a continuous monitoring of the phenomenon and have an homogeneous archiving of data, even if the sources of information differ from the sources. Other aspects that ultimately give added value to this case are the possibility of carrying out geographic analysis on historical administrative problem and perform accurate geographic analysis of phenomenon to calibrate action on a local scale and provide strategic guideline for large-scale intervention. In conclusion, G3W-SUITE offers a complete solution for online geographic data management. The strengths are set up in QGIS desktop and migration to the web environment with the simple upload of the project, highly customizable and simplified editing interfaces, tool that fits the existing data structure and not the other way around, simultaneous multi-user editing, and ability to define geographic restriction and specific editing power for individual user.